Hi Taurus, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2021 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, so as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic Cross spread as always, and also put an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Okay. So we have Scorpio, and that's actually your opposite sign. And in November, there's going to be tons of energy there. The sun will be there. Mercury's going to be there most of the month. Mars will be there all month. And of course, there'll be a new moon in there as well. So it could be a lot of focus around your relationships and partnerships in November. All right, we also have 8th house, which is Sagittarius. Of course, as we get toward the end of November, the sun's going to move into Sagittarius. So it makes sense that will come up as well. And we have Uranus, and Uranus is actually in your sign. So actually, and when we have the new moon in Scorpio, it's going to be opposite Uranus in your sign. So that could definitely bring up some issues around relationships too. All right, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Queen of Wands, which is Aries energy, and the Ace of Swords. So for you guys, Aries energy is your 12th house of the subconscious, spirituality, blind spots. So this could just be saying that you guys might get a sudden insight around a certain situation, possibly when that Aries full moon happens. At the time of recording this, it hasn't officially happened yet. But this could just be saying that whatever insights you guys might have, they might actually shift your focus for the month of November. So, could just be as simple as an idea you might have, right? Maybe a vivid dream or something along those lines that kind of cracks a mystery open for you guys in some way and might change your focus in a certain area. All right. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the 5 of Pentacles, Taurus energy, and 2 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. So could just be saying that the challenge might be whatever this idea you might have during that time. The practical aspect of it might be the difficulty. So to give you a super mundane example, maybe you decide you really want to take this exotic vacation, right? But you might figure, oh, well, at this time I don't really have the money to do it, right? So it could just be one of those things where that spark might ignite and you all of a sudden where you want to do it, but then you realize, okay, but can I actually do that, right? Is this really the good time to do it? Maybe you're thinking to yourself, oh, I also got to start saving up money for the holidays or whatever the case may be. So there could be a little bit of a conflict with those two energies there. If this was around a relationship of some kind, possibly that had broken up in the past, you might have a little bit of hesitancy. Maybe decide you want to renew that spark with that person, but you might feel like you're a little bit worried about how you would be received, right? So there could be a little bit of that back and forth, like, okay, should I even take the chance? Should I involve her, or would they just reject the offer? So it could just be one of those situations. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Devil. So this is Capricorn energy again. And to me, seeing this in combination with those cards we were just talking about, I feel like what this could just be saying primarily is that it could just be a karmic cycle where you haven't fully integrated whatever lessons you were meant to learn from it. So whether it be a one-to-one relationship or, like I said, some kind of destination that seems to be calling to you, it seems like there's some kind of a karmic pull that you're feeling toward it. And it could just be saying that that's because that whatever you needed to learn from the situation hasn't fully happened yet. So that might be why you're feeling such a strong pull in that area. Let me see if anything else comes to mind with this. And this can be around career, of course, too, especially because you guys have so much going on in your 10th house of career and social status. Jupiter and Saturn recently went direct in that sign, so it could be a lot going on with your career, too. All right, in the past position, we have the 8 of Swords, so Gemini energy here. So yeah, it feels like a lot of what this could be centered around in some way, shape, or form is probably there's some kind of restriction around finances that might have been holding you back from this. So again, a few random examples, right? Maybe you want to move somewhere, but you're like, oh, I don't really have the money to move there right now, right? Or you want to change jobs, but you're like, oh, well, I have to hold on to the one I'm at now in the meantime because I don't necessarily have enough money saved up to just leave it behind now and move on to the next thing. If it's a relationship, maybe you had so much heavy focus on your career that you kind of let your relationships fall by the wayside, and now, like, okay, well, how do I even pick that up, right? So that's what I'm feeling primarily. There was some kind of restriction around resources for you guys. In the present position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is Virgo energy here, and this usually does represent making an offer. And now for us to see the Knight of Pentacles, it's always the slowest moving knight. So it could have just been as simple as saying that whatever was held up for you guys might be freed up this month in the way of resources. Or if this was you guys contemplating coming forward to someone with an offer for a long time, this could just be saying that now you're finally revving up to actually do it. And like I said, if you think about the fact that that new moon in your opposite sign, when it comes to relationships, is going to be opposite Uranus in your sign, that could definitely bring a sudden urge to take action toward your relationships all of a sudden. Near future position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this usually represents Jupiter energy, and like I mentioned recently, Jupiter started moving direct again through your 10th house of career and social status, Aquarius, and it's going to be moving into Pisces gradually. So again, could just be some career cycles that you guys have been going through where now you're going to see some positive forward momentum in that area of your lives. And this could just be a timing thing in general, saying that, you know, now might be the time to take action around something you've been thinking about for a while now. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the World. So this is a card that represents completions of cycles. Usually I view it as Saturn energy, but also North Node energy. So could definitely represent some growth for you guys in certain situations. And like I said, it looks like in the past, especially with that Devil in the Foundation, it looks like you might not have been free of this cycle yet and necessarily learned everything there was to learn from a situation. But with this coming up as your influence, I feel like this is saying either you're ready to finally learn those lessons and move forward, or you're actually going to take the action to do so this month. All right, in the environment position, we have the King of Cups. So this is Scorpio energy here, which is your opposite sign. And like we said, we also saw this come up in the dice. Tons of energy there, astrologically speaking. So it could just be saying that your focus might be on your relationships and partnerships because of all that energy going on. If this is someone else that you're dealing with, though, it could just be saying that they might also be open to the possibility of the reconnection as well, if it's a reconciliation from the past, or someone who's been in your life constantly, but now you want to take things to the next level. It looks like there could be some openness there, but I feel like this is saying, if anything, they might be a bit hard to read, because with King of Cups energy, usually the feelings are deep, but they don't necessarily bring them out to the surface too. So you might be, if that's what you've been waiting on, right? If you're like, oh, let me see if I get a sign from this person, that might be the difficulty, right? Where they might be hard to read in that regard. And of course, this could still represent your energy too, saying that you have a heavy focus on that area of life because of all the stuff going on, astrologically speaking. All right, and in the hopes or fears position, we have the Hanged Man. So in a way, just looking at the totality of the energy, I feel like for a lot of you, this is probably more of a hope, and this could just be saying that you're hoping for a little bit more time to figure out what your best move would be, right? Hoping to see things from a different perspective. Now, I will say, given that we see that Ace of Swords with the Queen of Wands, you might actually get that insight as early as the full moon in Aries that I was just talking about that we're about to have. But if not, if it takes until November, keep in mind you guys are going to have a full moon in your sign. So that could bring some insights. And I mentioned the Scorpio new moon, which could also bring some insights given that it's going to be opposite Uranus in your sign. So there's definitely going to be some opportunities there for you guys to see things from a different perspective and hopefully guide you forward on the path to how best to take action. And in the outcome position, we have the Six of Wands, Leo energy, Temperance, Sagittarius energy, and the Sun. So definitely some pretty positive cards stand out with. The Six of Wands, rather, is Leo energy, usually represents receiving some kind of recognition, a bit of a victory type of energy. Temperance card usually represents restoring balance in situations, possibly even some work being done behind the scenes around that too. And then we see the Sun card. Again, this is a similar energy to the Six of Wands, but just at a even higher frequency, which is to say, getting that public recognition, feeling re-energized, feeling light and playful. So could just be as simple as saying that when you do take action, for some of you, it might actually take until we get into Sagittarius season for you to see the tangible proof of that action playing out in a positive way. So, let's say, especially like I said, this is like an amplified energy of this energy. So let's say you come forward to the person around the time of that Scorpio new moon and let them know how you're feeling, right? It might be one of those things where, okay, they might, especially with that Uranus aspect, it might catch them off guard to where they might have to think about it for a bit. And then, okay, maybe by the time we hit Sagittarius season toward the end of the month, you find out, okay, yes, they accept the offer. So whether that's around a romantic relationship, a job offer, you name it. Definitely looks like a pretty positive outcome. The only negative that we're really seeing here is at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords. And this is Aquarius energy. So for some of you, again, just be mindful that in your career sector, there might still be a bit of petty activity going on. Maybe people are all trying to get their way across, right? And it'll be a bit of a cutthroat environment that you guys are in. I don't know. Obviously, for each situation, it'd be different. For others of you, this could just be pointing to just watch out for letting old habits come back up to play. I always point out that the person's holding the Three Swords there, and if we think about the Three of Swords, it represents that wounding. So to me, this kind of looks like someone who, in their mind, they feel like they've healed from whatever situation it was, but they're not. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, given everything I'm seeing here, it seems like it'd be a fairly minor blip on the radar. All right, moving on to your Oracle card, we have Thinker. There's the artwork, and the number is 44. Okay, it says strategy, being analytical and logical. The Oracle's message, the ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. So, pretty positive message there, and that reminds me of the fact that, at the time of recording this, we're also just wrapping up Mercury retrograde too, and when we get into November, if there was any confusion around communication in that regard, it looks like it'll definitely be clearing up for you guys in November. The relationship message says, love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. So interesting there where it mentioned the part about it's good to have things in common other than desire. So for those of you where this devil energy points to more of there's just a high level of sexual attraction toward each other, but maybe there's a lot of incompatibilities, right? To where maybe you feel like you're in this energy when you're around that person. Then that might be, for some of you, the insight you might come to, right? Like, okay, no, yes, the attraction is very heavy, but we're not really a good fit otherwise, right? But for a lot of you, I feel like it might be more of the other way around, where you're coming to a realization that you could have something with this person. But either way, hopefully that resonated with you. And the prosperity message says, calculated action is called for now. It's important to sit down and plan a strategy. Focus on the steps you're going to take to claim your prosperous life. List all your friends now, so get out your journal. Write down what you're going to do today to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. Your plans and strategies will yield wonderful results. Remember, your most effective strategic partner is spirit. You will win this game, and your triumph will be for the highest good of all. So pretty positive message there. Definitely makes me think of the Wheel of Fortune in the near future, and then seeing the World card in your positions. Hope that resonated with you guys as well. And lastly, we have Mudra. So your Mudra for this month is this one here. It's the Ashvaratna Mudra. The keyword for it is perspective. And, all right, there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But it says it balances earth, water, and fire elements, benefiting digestion, circulation, and overall vitality, cuts through ego clinging and narrow-mindedness, gives new perspective on your choices and life's path. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put it in the name of the description video as always. Wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.